This is my 2023 Surron Ultra Bee. Come with me on a ride. We're going to talk about if it was a mistake me spending $5,500 on this Surron Ultra Bee. So did I make a mistake purchasing my $5,500 Ultra Bee? No, I did not. I am absolutely 100% thrilled with my purchase. I was on the fence because I actually spent $5,500 for the Ultra Bee, and $5,500 is a lot of money. There's a lot of things you can buy with $5,500. I could buy a nice gas motorcycle. I could buy a car. I could buy a trip to Walt Disney World. Probably maybe pay for half the trip. But anyways, $5,000 is a lot of money to spend on an electric motorcycle that's kind of a novelty that really isn't even street legal per se. So let's dive into what led me to getting the Surron Ultra Bee and why I made my decision. And maybe it will help you make your decision. So, I have never owned any electric vehicles other than a Super 73 bicycle. I thought it was really cool when I got it. Whoa. I thought it was really cool when I got it. However, it left a lot to be desired. And I started seeing, you know, our favorite YouTubers pop up with all these different e-cycles, if you will. And I got really excited and I was like, wow, these look really cool. The one that I mainly set my eyes on was the E-Ride Pro 3.0. I really wanted that bike. That was what I had said, if I ever buy one, I'm gonna buy that bike. So fast forward, I had got a little bit of money and I was contemplating different purchases, and I started thinking about the e-cycles again, and I said, you know, I'm gonna start looking into them. So I started looking into them and started doing research, and the more and more research I did, I was seeing that a lot of people were having various issues with the e-ride. Now with any product, there's chances of, you know, getting a bad apple, and most companies work through it and are pretty good about it. So it's just kind of a hassle, but it's a process you go through. But knowing me and my luck, if there is a bad apple, I'm usually the one to get the bad apple. So the more and more I was looking into it and I was reviewing, I heard a lot of people say good things about the Surron brand, and that every time they turn their key on, their Surron turns on and they're ready to go. So I was like, you know, the Surron, that's the one that's been the staple for a long time, so let me look into it. So anyways, looking into the E-Ride Pro, I started looking into the Light Bee and the LBX, all the different bikes, and I'm about 5'9", 220 pounds. So I was like, you know, I may be a little bit small, or maybe a little bit big for these bikes. These bikes may be a little bit small for me. So I then started looking into the Ultra Bee, and I immediately was drawn to the Ultra Bee because the Ultra Bee sort of looks like a motorcycle. Has a headlight, has turn signals. Well, the on-road versions have turn signals and stuff. So I was like, oh, I might be able to get a ride, because mainly I'm going to ride this bike to and from work and play around here and there on it. Not too much needed commuting on the bike. But I said, wow, the Ultra Bee is cool because it kind of looks more like a motorcycle, and I think I could get away with the Ultra Bee more on the street than any other of the brands. So that's what drew me to the Ultra Bee, and I'm 100% happy with the sizing, with my size, the power, how it carries me, everything about the fit and function of the Ultra Bee for my size is absolutely perfect. So that'll take us into our next topic. What the fuck was the next topic? What? Yeah, shout out right there. Nice little baby Willie for him, huh? Hopefully there was no cops. For some reason with this dirt tire, it just keeps leaning right to the side. So when I had set out to buy the Ultra Bee, I was looking at new ones, I was looking at used ones, and there's a guy that sells new 2025s in my area for $6,500. And he orders them from Alibaba, obviously sells them for a profit. So I started looking around and I was finding used ones for $6,000-7,000 that were pretty fixed up. The more bikes that I looked at were all owned by young kids and they were thrashed. I mean, they must have took the pictures for the ad when they first got the bike, because the bikes were absolutely thrashed. So, and they wanted $5,000, $5,500, and I'm like, man, at that point, I'm just gonna buy a new one. So I had it all set up to go buy the new one from the guy in the crate for $6,500, the 2025. But then last minute, I checked on OfferUp, and this one popped up, and he was asking, I think $6,500 for it. It had California plates on it already, and it was very clean in the pictures. So I had messaged him and I said, hey, can you send me a detailed walk around current video so I could see it? And if you'll take $5,500, I'd be interested in coming and looking at it. So he did, and it was great. And he did take the $5,500, and I did go buy it. And that's bringing me to my next point, is versus the new one versus buying the used one. I picked this one because, for one, it already had 1,000 miles on it. I know that any of the problems that it would have had from the factory would have either popped up by now or been resolved. Secondly, it had the California titling already done, something that I really didn't want to do myself, even though it's pretty easy. My luck, they would have caught on to the program by then and changed it and made it different. So this one's already got a plate. I've already applied for the title transfer, so I'm already working on that aspect of it. And thirdly, the main thing is I wanted the 2025 for the new engine, the better battery, everything that the 2025 has to offer. But then when I got to thinking about it, I said, you know what? For one, I'm just going to tool the bike around. I'm just going to be doing wheelies on it, playing. So I really don't need all that extra power. Yeah, I could use that extra battery life. That would be nice. But I really don't need the extra power, but it will be nice. But at the end of the day, I'm going to upgrade the motor, the controller, the battery, everything on the bike. So why spend the extra $1,000 for the stuff that I'm not going to use for an unregistered bike from Alibaba, when I could just get this one that was already registered, already I could see it in good shape, I could ride it, and everything was good. And most of it, importantly, it already had the California plates on it. So that works for me, and that weighs in on my decisions and how I came to the conclusion to buy an Ultra Bee. The short form of it is, the Ultra Bee I can get away with a lot more. I think I can ride it on the streets more comfortably without getting in trouble. It fits me a lot better, and with the upgrades I can do, I can make this bike, I mean, pretty much limitless possibilities to power-wise. I mean, not limitless, but the power that you can put to this bike, bolt on, is enough to keep anybody happy. And this is coming from a experienced gas motorcycle rider. I've ridden motorcycles all my life since I was like 5 years old. I currently own maybe 10 motorcycles, varying from pit bikes to Harley Davidsons. So hopefully this helps you with your decision on your Ultra Bee purchase, if you're looking or thinking. And hope to see you out there on the streets. Gotta love the Ultra Bee.